Luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel. Cayman's bigger, better network.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
For the Record. 1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Monday, the 18th day of March 2024, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious, courteous, and observant of the rules of the road. Whether you are a pedestrian or a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, please, please be careful out there. The life you save may just be your own. We understand that there has been an accident in the Camana Bay area, so you want to be extremely cautious there. Also, if you are driving, don't slow down to look to see what is taking place. We know many of you are now driving with cameras in your vehicles, and we know everyone wants to be an instant news reporter, but just continue driving, because when you slow down, you're slowing down the remainder of the traffic as well. So just please continue driving. We also know that the light at the intersection of Smith Road and Thomas Russell Way, or Anahalda Boulevard, I think it is called, or Avenue, the green light when you're coming from Linford Pearson Highway, or if you're coming from the cricket field area. So if you're traversing that area there, that green light is not staying on as long as it usually did. As a result of that, this morning, after 6 o'clock minutes to 7, traffic was backing up past the pickleball court, because the major volume of traffic is coming off that road. You have 3 lanes, in one direction, and you have traffic coming the other way. So that is the major thoroughfare, not Smith Road. But the light was changing from green to red fairly quickly. So hopefully that situation will be addressed. If you're coming from that area and you see the traffic backed up at that light, that is the reason for that. But I have been in contact with someone who will contact the NRA, and hopefully that situation will be resolved as well. So, folks, those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you. And to remind you that this segment of the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and the management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I have the pleasure of being your host. My name is Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. And folks, guess who is back in the control room? None other than that beautiful radio voice, Miss Susan Watson. She is back from a well-deserved break as well, and that big smile on her face, you know that she is happy to be back in the studio as well. So we want to give a big welcome and a big shout out to Miss Susan Watson this morning. You can call us on, I'm not sure what numbers are working, but try them all. The toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp number 925-3261. If you want to follow us on YouTube, you do that simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream as well. So, first of all, let's look at the birthday shout-outs this morning. We see that Miss Glenda Dilbert Davies, she is celebrating her birthday today. Mr. Tony Green also celebrating his birthday today. Yesterday, Natasha Wilson Jean celebrated her birthday, as well as Miss Georgette Myers celebrated her birthday yesterday as well. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts, they are brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, they're proud to support your birthday shoutout. Coca-Cola is available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570. Let's see what we can share with you this morning. And this one really is not applicable to Caymanians, but we want to ensure that everyone hears and understands what is pertinent to them. And in this particular case, Work has issued a media release that was issued on the 14th of March, and you would have heard it here on Radio Cayman on the bulletin board and possibly the news as well, where Work is advising work permit holders to get endorsement stamps in advance of their travel dates. So they emphasize the importance of obtaining passport endorsement stamps well in advance of travel dates. To ensure a smooth process, Work advises the public to allow ample time for processing. It's crucial to note that the work permit license itself can serve as a travel document. However, For those opting to secure an endorsement stamp, it is recommended to visit work office at least 2 weeks, which is the equivalent of 10 business days before the intended travel date. This proactive approach, folks, minimizes last-minute rushes and will significantly reduce customer wait time. Endorsement stamps play a vital role for airline counter personnel, serving as verification of an individual's connection to living and or working in the Cayman Islands. For any inquiries, customers can reach out to their customer care team at 945-9672, or you can call a toll-free number at 1-800-534-9672, or you can also reach them via email at worc@gov.ky during their operational hours, which are from 8:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. So make sure that you get your endorsement in your passport. And of course, if you are here illegally, then we know you're not going to be looking to get an endorsement in your passport, but you probably, if you want to go home for Easter, or if you have had enough time here in the Cayman Islands illegally, and if you have made enough money, say, well, it's time for me to leave now. I've overstayed my welcome, and you're trying to slip out one way or the other, we know that you won't be looking for an endorsement in your passport. But for those persons who are here legally and you need that endorsement in your passport, quite possible that your work permit is in for renewal and it hasn't been approved yet. So you want to have an endorsement in your passport showing that you are still legally resident in the Cayman Islands, which will allow you to leave unencumbered and also to return without any problems as well. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
On August 19, 1948, 24 Georgetown women sent a historic letter to the commissioner, which stated,
Sir, we the undersigned residents of the District of Georgetown, having examined and obtained legal advice on the Constitution of the Cayman Islands, find nothing therein which denies a woman the fundamental human right of taking part in deciding who shall govern us. Therefore, we declare that it is our intention to exercise our constitutional right to vote today, August 19, 1948, according to our conscience, in the election of vestrymen for the District of Georgetown. Should this privilege be denied to us by the officials in charge of the election, we shall demand the government to give just reasons for making of no effect the laws it has sworn to uphold. We have the honor to be, sir.
Although no women voted in the 1948 election, on May 29, 1957, 358 women from 7 districts signed similar requests. And on December 8, 1958, the Sex Disqualification Removal Bill passed into law.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
The 17th Annual Bill Rudy Rotary Central Science Fair, Saturday, April 13th. at the Arc Camana Bay. Plan for it, start your project now. Open to students across all schools in Little Cayman, Cayman Brac, and Grand Cayman. Homeschool students are welcome. Register now, today, tonight, online, rotarysciencefair.ky. The Rotary Central Science Fair, just around the corner, Saturday, April 13th. Rotary Central, creating hope in the world.
It's Digicel's 20th birthday bash, and you're invited. We are giving away 20 phones for 20 years. Win an iPhone or a Samsung smartphone as part of our anniversary celebration. Simply spend $20 or more at Digicel, or be an active postpaid customer, and you could be our lucky winner. It's our way of saying thank you for 20 incredible years of connection and support from our amazing customers like you. Don't miss out on this epic celebration. Go to your nearest Digicel store today and join the party. Digicel, better connected.
You don't need to be great to start, but you sure do need to start to be great. We've all been there. The little put when we try to start the car. Starters and alternators will eventually go. When life happens to your car, Superior Auto can save your day. Superior Auto offers complete starter and alternator repair. Superior Auto, 525-9571 or 949-9570. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Shop the Brand Source Home Gallery Senior Citizen Sale.
In honor of our seniors, Brand Source Home Gallery is offering a 15% discount now until April 6 on appliances, mattresses, plumbing and bath fixtures, lighting, ceiling fans, kitchen cabinets, custom closets, and more. And I heard right, 15% off store-wide.
If you are over the age of 60, you can purchase for your family and friends. Just show your ID. It's that easy to save 15% with the Brand Source Home Gallery Senior Citizen Sale. Visit Brand Source on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, or call 623-5000 for details.
Tortuga is giving you the chance to win big with its Treasure to 10K giveaway. Spend $25 in store or online from now until April 5th for a chance to win a grand prize of $10,000 cash, plus $1,500 of Tortuga vouchers and some fantastic weekly giveaways. It's all part of Tortuga's big 40th anniversary celebrations. Visit any Tortuga retail or discount store or shop online at tortuga.ky to enter. This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, but we will have guests later on after the 8 o'clock news. We will have in the studio with us the director of Miss Nellie Pouchie, who is the chief officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and Director Mullings from talking about the Psychiatric Nursing Assistance Training Program. They will be in the studio with us this morning, so we want you to be able to listen, and if you have any questions about this program, certainly want you to call in as well. Director Mullings, she is from the Poinciana Rehabilitation Center, And they will be hosting a psychiatric nursing assistant training program information sessions this week as well. So we want to bring you up to speed on that. So that is what will be taking place after the 8 o'clock news. Folks, I'm going to share this story with you because I know on certain social media platforms or certain discussion groups, people are discussing the situation with the gentleman who was originally arrested and charged with importing firearms and ammunition, and the recent decision not to proceed with that case. And of course, many people, there are some people in the Cayman Islands who feel that we have a double standard when it comes to crimes committed by local people, by Caymanians and those resident in the Cayman Islands, and those who come to visit or work in the Cayman Islands. And we see such allegations being made not only in the Cayman Islands, but in other Caribbean jurisdictions as well. I don't know whether or not it has anything to do with the fact, that we are a tourist destination, but there should be no excuse whatsoever for having double standards when it comes to the administration of justice. So I'm sure that many of you will laud this particular one. DPP defends deportation of U.S. missionary and family. This is from Rosé in Dominica. The Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP Sherma Dalrymple, has defended the decision to deport a missionary and his family, saying their continued stay in Dominica would have been detrimental and unlawful, and as such, not in the public interest. Dalrymple said Jason Grogg and his dependents were deemed prohibited immigrants in accordance with the Immigration and Passport Act. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution understands that this situation has sparked public questions and debate, and the DPP is quoted as saying, adding that the repatriation of the Grogg family was legal and the procedures employed by the police were fair and just. She said Grogg was convicted of serious firearm offenses here, and that the entire family members were not regularized under the immigration laws of Dominica, and Jason Grogg had several customs charges related to firearms and evasion of customs duties before the court. Earlier this month, Dalrymple issued a notice of discontinuance to the court, ending all matters involving the state and Grogg. Grogg was arrested last year on gun and ammunition related offenses and pleaded guilty to the charges, was along with his family deported on March 6. Jason and Jennifer Grogg and their 2 teenage daughters were taken into custody on the 17th of April 2023 when authorities found the gun and ammunition inside a 40-foot shipping container the family used to store their belongings. After several days in jail, Jason pleaded guilty to possessing the firearms without a license and paid an EC $9,250. And for those of you who want to know the conversion rate, 1 EC dollar is the equivalent of 37 US cents. So he paid that fine to secure the release of his wife and daughters. The charges against his wife and daughters were all dismissed. Jason, however, insisted that the officials only uncovered, and I quote, some miscellaneous ammunition and a handgun for which he planned to secure a permit. Meanwhile, Grogg has vowed to return to Dominica, saying that it is the will of God. He told Dominica News online publication that everything, I quote, everything I own is in Dominica. So why would I leave that? I am going to fight for my right, for my children, our library with 3,000 books in a shipping container that has been held hostage by customs for almost a year now. Dominica is our new home. While we may be U.S. citizens, the United States is no longer my home. I was working towards citizenship. Now, you talk about being, those old people would say bold-faced, and declaring that Dominica is now his home. That's the new way of colonizing even independent countries, where you go and you decide, this is where I have decided to live, and come what may, this is where I am going to live. So, some two crucial issues. The double standard that we apply to tourists and even some residents within the Caribbean. It's not only happening in the Cayman Islands, but happens in other jurisdictions as well, where you see persons who have been intercepted at the airport or ports of entry, arrested, quickly sent to the courts, given a fine, some even allowed to stay, while others may be deported. The other issue has to do with guns and ammunition. We see the entire Caribbean region now suffering from this epidemic of guns being imported illegally and being used to commit crimes, to take people's lives, to terrorize people. We see it happening all of the time. It is difficult enough to try to control those that are coming in illegally. But when persons say that they had every legal intention, and sometimes they may have demonstrated that by the inquiries that they have made and everything else, that they genuinely made an attempt to legally bring things in, we need to be able to address that issue as well. And folks, if there are loopholes in our legislation, we need to change it immediately. And we also need to demonstrate to those persons who come as our guests in the island that there is no inherent right for you to be able to live and remain in the Cayman Islands. It does not come automatically. It comes through a legal right. And we need to look to see whether or not we want to tighten up that legal right, or we want to open the floodgates. For me and my family and the friends that I know, the answer is no, we do not want to open the floodgates. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, we will have Director Mullings and Chief Officer Pouchie in the studio with us. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
Feast without the fuss.
This Easter, make Foster's a part of your cherished traditions with our full Easter spread.
Order your main, sides, and dessert online starting at $94.99. Then pick it up in-store, ready to feed up to 8.
Choose your main from a 12-hour smoked pork, oven-roasted turkey, or maple-glazed ham.
Or indulge your guests with our extra special herb-roasted leg of lamb feast for $119.
Order your Easter holiday dinner online today at fosters.ky.
Foster's, better because we care.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Island.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. An air conditioning issue at Clifton Hunter High School has students heading home today. Here's Director of the Department of Education Services, Mark Ray.
The Ministry of Education and the Department of Education Services wish to advise that today there's a major underground leak in the pipes carrying chilled water to the air conditioning system at Clifton Hunter High School. The facilities team is working to address this matter, which requires excavation to fix. As such, school buildings will be without AC today, and school buses will return to the Clifton Hunter High School at 8:30 a.m. to transport students home. Parents may also collect students from the school at this time. The Ministry of Education and Department of Education Services apologize for the inconvenience caused. The school will put measures in place for delivery of remote instruction where applicable.
Again, an air conditioning issue at Clifton Hunter High School has students returning home for remote work where possible today. In other news, let's take a quick look at local gas prices. According to the overall retail network weekly analysis of the Cayman Islands done by the Utility and Competition Regulation Office, the average price of self-service regular gasoline is $5.38 a gallon, which is up a penny since the last check on March 11th. Premium self-service gasoline is also up 1 cent at $5.87, while diesel spiked 8 cents to $5.65 a gallon. For a quick comparison, 3 months ago, regular was $5.50, premium was $5.93, and diesel was selling for $5.90 a self-service gallon. For Grand Cayman, the cheapest self-service regular is reportedly being sold at Jose's, where Allfrag says it's $5.19 a self-service gallon. The regulator says the average price for regular gas in Cayman Brac is $5.89. Folks on Little Cayman are paying $7.26. On the diesel side of things, Allfrag says the cheapest self-service option is refuel, where it's selling for $4.98 a gallon. According to AAA, the average price of gasoline in Florida has risen to $3.46 USD for regular, $4.18 for premium. Log on to allfrag.ky for a full breakdown. Today marks your chance to weigh in on the public and affordable housing policy and 10-year strategy. Starting this morning, the Ministry of Planning is inviting you to share your opinions and insights to, quote, help shape the future of housing in the Cayman Islands. Follow the Ministry of Planning on Facebook, where government is expected to post the live survey link later today. And it's a quality of life upgrade for inmates at Northwood Prison. CIGTV's Donna Bush reports.
The gym facility located at Northwood Prison was reopened after the completion of some much-needed work. The reopening event was attended by ministry leaders, prison officials, inmates, and those individual business owners who donated materials, labor, and equipment. Officer in charge of the prison gym, Sean Mitchell, explains how inmates using the gym can benefit.
In terms of rehabilitation, the gym here adds to it as well, because in rehabilitating, we want to cater for the person holistically, right? And so the gym is another aspect of it. We know we have the VT area that they have vocational studies, electrical, plumbing, and woodwork, and other classes that they do on online classes. The gym is also another aspect of that will encourage them to have a structure, really.
We invite you to join us on Newsbrief Monday, when we'll hear from leading ministry and prison officials on this rehabilitation resource.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News with Emily Thomas. A UN-backed report estimates northern Gaza could be under famine conditions by May. It said 50% of inhabitants in the territory were already facing what it called catastrophic hunger. Israel has urged people to leave Gaza's biggest hospital and the area around it. It says it's carrying out an operation to arrest Hamas operatives who are using the facility as their command centre. Israel said several people were earlier killed when its troops were attacked by gunmen in the hospital. The Taliban has accused the Pakistani Air Force of attacking targets in Afghanistan, killing at least 8 people. Reports say there were border clashes after the airstrikes. Pakistan says it's been repeatedly attacked by militants from Afghanistan. The European Union has dismissed the Russian presidential election as neither free nor fair. Moscow says Vladimir Putin won a landslide victory, and the result has been welcomed by its allies. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Town. Live happy, live healthy with Valley Med Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 80 degrees. Relative humidity is 92%. The barometric pressure is 29.92 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 3 knots. Overnight low temperature was 78. Synopsis indicate light to moderate southeasterly winds and seas are expected for the next 24 hours in association with a high-pressure system over the central Atlantic Ocean. Light northeasterly winds are expected by tomorrow morning as a second high-pressure system develops over the southern United States. Satellite images show scattered low-level clouds across the northwest Caribbean. Now, the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today is calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures will be in the upper 80s. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Pretty much the same for tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will fall to the mid-70s tonight. Your winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet for tonight. Low tide will be this afternoon at 12:53, high tide this evening at 6:25. The sun will set this evening at 6:35 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:30. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Wednesday morning. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you want to go scuba diving on your vacation, don't bedazzle your wetsuit. And you think you look great, but what you don't realize is that you look like a shiny, scaly fish. And it won't take long for a shark to notice you. Next thing you know, you're busting out every karate move you got. But if you're smart, you'll have CG medical insurance and get airlifted out to the closest hospital.
Get coverage for emergency evacuations. CG Britcay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look this time at traffic. Traffic coming from the east is steady on the Linford Pearson Highway as well as on Cool Road heading to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Cool Road is moving on moderately. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Road, little heavy traffic there. I think they're working on the lights. As we look to Edward Street, downtown Georgetown is moving on steadily. Remember, traffic roadworks taking place in that area, so be aware of that. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is moderate in both directions. And as we turn our eyes to the Estella Tibbetts Highway, steady traffic coming off of there. And continuing on to North Sound Road, Industrial Park area, moderate flow of traffic. If you see any accidents or incidents on Cayman's roads, give us a call here at Radio Cayman at 949-6990. Owen Roberts Drive, traffic is moving on pretty good. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Every day, thousands of us use our roads.
I drive to work.
My dad drives me to school.
I make deliveries across the island.
But with every journey comes responsibility. Our actions behind the wheel can have serious consequences, so let's make a commitment to safety. The Cayman Islands government invites you to take the Safe Drivers Pledge. The pledge is our opportunity to show our dedication to creating a safer environment on our roads.
Do it for your community.
For your loved ones.
For yourself.
Let's make our roads safer together and say no more for 2024. Visit www.gov.ky/road safety for more information and to take the pledge.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. And keeping my promise, we promised you that we would have in the studio with us Chief Officer in the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and I think there's something else to be added to it now, right, as well?
Health and Wellness.
Health and Wellness.
Yes.
Miss Pouchie, Miss Nellie Pouchie in the studio with us, and Director Mullings. And I want to first of all say good morning to you two young ladies, and welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having us.
Okay.
Good morning.
Thank you. And I'm going to pass the mic right over to you, Ms. Pouchie.
So good morning again, everyone. Very happy to be here today with Ms. Marcia Mullings Thompson, who's our director of the Poinciana Rehabilitation Center. And this morning we wanted to talk a little bit more about the Psychiatric Nursing Assistance Training Program. So I'll just invite Ms. Marcia to say just hello.
Good morning, everyone. It's really nice to be here to share about this program that we're offering.
Okay. And we hope and we trust, we know people are listening as well, and if they have any questions, the phone lines will be open. If you have any questions, just give our guests an opportunity to give you an overview of, what this discussion is all about, what is happening as far as the Poinciana Rehabilitation Center is doing, and then you can pose your questions. You can either call in or you can WhatsApp us 925-3261, and I will then convey the message or read it on air so that our panelists as well as other listeners can hear as well. Ladies, back over to you.
Good morning again. So as you know, we have the Poinciana Rehabilitation Center, which is a continuation of the mental health services in the Cayman Island, looking at persons who need a level of support in terms of, improving on their functionality and becoming independent. The main focus of Poinciana will be rehabilitation and helping to reintegrate persons with families in communities, give them a sense of independence, as well as an important aspect is also for us to be able to care for our clients or residents here in the Cayman Islands. And so importantly, we will be looking at, getting those persons overseas back on island and providing the care they need here.
Okay, can we start then by talking about the training program itself and the information sessions?
So we're in the process of recruiting persons to help to staff up the facility so we can, when the time comes, fully operationalize the facility. The training program was designed to provide opportunities for Caymanians and permanent residents to take up positions in Poinciana as psychiatric nursing assistant. And the psychiatric nursing assistants are usually support staff with a specialist training in mental health to care for, monitor, and assist the clients and provide support for the nursing staff. So that is their core function, and provide basic nursing care as well as help in therapeutic interactions that will help our clients as they go along.
So what are some of the qualities that we're looking for in these persons to who you're looking to fill these positions?
All right. So prior to just going into some of the specific qualities, I'll just let you know the persons who apply high school diploma, and then they will go through our screening processes in order to be able to qualify, to see if they qualify. So the program itself is a 29 months program, 5 months entry level, and 2 years on-the-job experience. And I'm really so happy that the CEO and the minister has supported this program to provide sponsorship and full sponsorship and for the 29 months, which is awesome. They will be paid at a trainee level when they are part of this program. But of course, with all programs, we have to meet certain performance measures and criteria. They must be physically and mentally fit. You know, it's difficult to determine that in an interview. Yes. However, we would want persons who are mentally and physically fit. And age group, we start from 18 and up. Of course, we may have to have a cutoff time because of the whole issue of physical and mental fitness. And they must have an interest in working with persons with mental illness. So we want persons who are applying for these jobs to want to be a part of Poinciana, caring for these vulnerable group of persons. So we don't want persons who are just there for a job, but have that soft spot, let's put it in quotation, for persons who have mental illnesses. And there are other criteria that will follow in the program. They must have what we call good ethical and moral principles dealing with residents. So we do have that, do no harm, other things like that. So they must be interested in it. Honest, sober, no substance use. You know, there are other criteria, but those are some of the basic ones.
Ms. Nellie?
Yes, and just to continue on there, Mr. Connor, so we've started these sessions last week. Ms. Marcy's had a pretty good turnout so far, so we want to encourage other persons to come out this week. We're out again on Wednesday and Friday of this week, and the applications actually close on Friday of this week. So I'd invite persons to go on to careers.gov.ky to be able to get more details and to submit applications if this is something of interest to them.
And what is the size of the cohort that you're looking for in terms of recruitment, the numbers?
So this particular cohort is 18. 18 because we are aligning it with the organizational chart to fill these particular positions. So because of the sponsorship and of course the cost with the program, we want to look at the needs, the immediate needs of the facility to help it to open. So 18 persons would be, we know the recruitment will have a lot of persons, but of course we have to do proper screening to, get these 18. in this initial cohort.
And as far as the gender split is concerned, because there may be times when you may need a male as opposed to a female attendant. Are there numbers in as far as gender is concerned as well?
Most definitely, we will need to have both male and female, and I'm glad you have brought this up. Because what we are also seeing in our information session is that we do get a lot of female. Of course, that's mostly the norm, but we are also encouraging the male to come because there are certain duties of this role that will demand a level of, more physical dexterity and strength. And so we want to be able to have a pool of males to, work in the facility. In addition, why it's important to have the males is that most of the clients so far that we've seen are more males than females. So based on that, we will have more males at the facility, and therefore we also need that gender to be a part of the program.
Okay. Now, these two information sessions, Wednesday from 3 to 5 and Friday from 4 to 6, the location?
So we're using the Georgetown Hall, Constitution Hall, my correction, yes, for these sessions.
Okay. Now, we know that one of the questions out there is, first of all, the location, whereas the Poinciana Rehabilitation Center, where that is located, and this may be more of a political one, but as Chief Officer, you may know as well the intended date of the opening of the facility.
So right now, Mr. Connor, we're still in that handover phase. We have not yet received the facility for opening. So there are a few inspections that still remain. The latest snag that we've had, as was reported by Honourable Minister last month, was with respect to the electrical, having one of our mean feeders to the cottages having had a glitch. And so those are being looked into. Unfortunately, where that was found, it required a bit more work, so the delay pushed us into a further 6 to 8 weeks before we're able to have that sorted out. So we continue to work with our project managers at Public Works, and once we have that clearance, then for sure we'll be keeping the public updated as to when that potential handover will take place, and then subsequently opening. Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done between handover and opening, so it does give us, that time to be able to have everything sorted out, and Miss Marcia to have everything staffed up. We've had to do quite a little bit of a delicate dance in terms of staffing, so that we're not having persons on too early and just sitting there and not being able to function. So that's been a little bit of a challenge for us, but we continue to move forward with staffing up the facility in the interim, so that when we do have the facility handed over and we do have an opening date, then we're able to quickly get on board with that.
Okay. I'd like you to repeat some of those qualities of that individuals should possess if they're considering, taking up these positions or applying for them, what you're actually looking for, and the time frame within which, once a person has made an application, when they're likely to get a response. And you have laid out the length of time, the 29 months, as far as training and on-the-job training as well. So if you could go with that for us, Ms. Marcia.
Okay. So the age group, we start at 18. It's very difficult for me to put a cutoff date, but we do have 55 years. We're not being biased. If you feel you have the physical dexterity, you may be considered. They must be Caymanians and permanent residents, more so Caymanians. And I mentioned the mental and physical fitness. Difficult to determine, but we will still have that interaction. Interest in working with the mentally ill, and other need the pass. So after they have applied, we will do what we call an assessment or pre-entrance test. So persons can apply, must have completed high school. Then we do what we call the pre-entrance test, which is one of the screening. So just with like other jobs in the government, we have to do what we call the shortlisting. So once we have shortlisted the individuals, the next step is doing that assessment. So it will come in the form of a test, general knowledge, other areas. And then we would look at the scores, and one of the criteria is that we select the persons who are the most outstanding to move on to the next stage of interview. So the pros, and after the interview, then we make a selection, the panel selection. Now, the process for doing all of this, as we are now still doing information session, the close off for the, the program, the adverts, is this Friday. After that, we quickly do a shortlisting in another week, do our assessment. So the process of doing all this preliminary work may take 2 to 3 weeks. And then after that, now, we have to do the other things that are necessary. So let us say another 4 to 6 weeks, I think, we should be ready to start the training. So that's the time frame.
Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, we will have more to discuss with Director Mullings from the Poinciana Rehabilitation Center. We're talking about the hosting of nursing information sessions taking place this week, Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m. and Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Constitution Hall. Those of you who don't recognize that name, then the Georgetown Town Hall as well. More questions, more information will be provided to you as soon as we return from this commercial break. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Family Resource Center celebrates the 25th anniversary of Honoring Women Month throughout March with a full calendar of events offered to honor women's accomplishments and build further awareness of the gender-specific issues affecting women and girls. Key events include their International Women's Day Gala on March 8th with keynote speaker Desiree Phillips, who will host 3 additional workshops inspired by this year's theme, #Inspire Inclusion, between March 10th and 13th. On March 9th, the Inspire Her Girls Conference will provide female students aged 13 to 18 years the opportunity to connect and learn from female leaders in the STEM field and other industries. The annual Color Me Purple 5K is on the 24th, where every participant will earn their own medal. Join the Family Resource Center for their full month of celebrations as they recognize this incredible milestone. To view their calendar of events and to register, visit frc.gov.ky.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me Director Marcia Mullings Thompson. She's the director of the Poinciana Rehabilitation Center. She joined the ministry in July of 2023. Also in the studio with me, the Chief Officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Ms. Pouchie, and we're talking about the Psychiatric Nursing Assistant Training Program, the information sessions that are being held at the Georgetown Town Hall or Constitution Hall on Wednesday from 3 p.m. until 5 p.m. and Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. Now, I know that many of you out there, especially those of you in those chat groups, are always talking about no opportunities for Caymanians. We're always getting work permits, and sometimes that may be true. Always getting work permits for people. Of course, in the government, you don't need a work permit. You're exempt from that under the Immigration Act. In the private sector, yes, that is necessary, and some statutory authorities and government companies have to get work permits while others are exempt from it. In this particular case, if you are a Caymanian and they have placed the emphasis on Caymanians, yes, persons who have permanent residency status in the Cayman Islands will be considered as well, but the main emphasis is on Caymanians. So here is an opportunity for you. You have heard Ms. Mullings say starting from age 18, but if you have the physical and mental dexterity and you're in your 50s, that you will still be accepted as well. Of course, folks, no one's going to come knocking on your door. You have to get out there. You have to make your application. You have to show an interest in it as well. So we want to talk some more about the competencies that you are looking for, the datelines for the application. And time will allow for us also to talk about the sustainability of the program. We know that there's always attrition, whatever job that you take. There will always be attrition in terms of the numbers for whatever reasons, and what plans are in place or will be put in place to sustain the supply as far as competent personnel to man this Poinciana Rehabilitation Center.
So yes, Mr. Connor, so we are in very early days in terms of Poinciana. However, we are very encouraged to have Caymanians step up to be able to join the complement at Poinciana. And we want to really, really encourage persons to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented this week with the information sessions. Going on to careers.gov.ky to check out further details on what the program entails. And anybody who's not able to attend those sessions for whatever reason, to reach out so that we are able to provide more additional information to them on a one-on-one, so that we can have every opportunity for Caymanians especially to be able to come on board. Ms. Marcia has been very passionate about this program from the time she's been on board with us, and so I'm very happy to see it come to fruition at this point. that we're able to move forward with it to the next stages. And she's certainly willing to speak to anybody who have any questions in addition to what's already provided online. Perhaps, Ms. Marcy, you can reiterate again,
Sure.
just in terms of those qualities
Right.
and inviting persons.
Yes. So again, we are reiterating high school, just the high school diploma to apply. And then we go through the processes. And we are there, the training facilitators. We know that some persons are timid, maybe because they're feeling that, oh, maybe I won't understand. But the program is so tailored to help persons to be successful in the course. Now, in the event of dropout, we will consider, as CEO Pouchie mentioned, it's early days. And so we will have to, after our initial program, do an assessment of, what has happened, what can we do going forward, whether or not we need to do additional programs to meet those staffing positions that we need. So after that initial program, we will see the next step that we can. And as CEO said, there is a email address, poinciana@gov.ky, for additional information that persons may need. So they can email us and we will respond accordingly.
What sort of hours are you, when a person actually gets on the job, they're properly trained, what sort of hours are you looking at? Is it shift work as well? And can we speak to that?
Yes. It will be a shift work, 12-hour shifts. While they are on the job, the training, that will part of it, because part of the preparation is to get persons accustomed to doing this shift. You know that Poinciana will have residents 24 hours, so we definitely have to have that support for them during the night hours too. But of course, we try to tailor those shift system to be in keeping with the Ministry of Health standards, the personal regulation in terms of hours worked, and they do get their days off when necessary. So it will be shift, and I must say they're not going to be alone, because we will have nursing staff that will be there to support them as well.
Okay. Miss Nellie, we mentioned about the bringing back those persons who are at facilities overseas. How important is that to families who are here in Cayman and have to go through the process, the very difficult process of traveling overseas to visit their loved ones who are in other institutions? How crucial is having that, the Poinciana?
Well, Mr. Connor, it's very important. It's critical. It's something that we want to make sure that persons have access. So in healthcare, although we have to go overseas sometimes to get treatments that we're not able to get on island, we want to continuously be moving forward to have access here where possible. And that's critical for families to be able to have that on island, to access to their loved ones. Ms. Marcia has visited the home recently in Jamaica, especially where we have a few persons currently. And that has been so inspirational for them, that the ministry has reached out and has come to see them on their own territory, and to do the assessments also to make sure that, a transition over back into Cayman is in their best interest as well, because we also have to constantly keep the patient at the center of it and what's best for that person. But without us having our own facility here, then that would not be possible. So I'm very, very excited that we're on this journey, and we should soon be able to realize that dream that many persons in our communities have expressed for a number of years.
Okay, one of our listeners wanted to know whether or not the recruitment drive is only for nursing assistants? What about other categories, or other jobs within Poinciana?
Okay, so this program is a training program specifically at this time. So this is only for Caymanians. However, in terms of all of the other recruitment that Poinciana has put forth, it goes through the normal channels, trying to gauge interest and trying to encourage persons as well to apply for those. So as you would for any other jobs put out by the government, those are always made publicly available. And so we do encourage persons to do keep a close eye on the careers.gov.ky site so that they're aware constantly of what's out. We also go through newspapers as well in terms of any ongoing recruitment for Poinciana.
Okay, Ms. Marcia, anything you want to add to that?
No, and of course, as with any country, our priority is always Caymanians. I must emphasize that. So we have been doing a lot of recruitment since December. Many people would have seen ads out. Yes, it takes a while sometimes for us to get back to some of the persons because we have to plan interviews and do all these processes. And we are in the heights of doing interviews and recruitments. Priority, Caymanians. And of course, that's been emphasized. So we are in the, as CEO said, look out on the sites in the newspaper. We currently have roles out there being advertised. Yes. So that's it.
Okay. Another question has to do with whether or not any type of psychometric testing is done, especially those individuals who will be in direct contact with the patients to assess their mental fitness and ability to deal with difficult situations at times.
So that usually is a requirement. However, I am guided by the experts whether or not we will necessarily need that. Because from experience, I must say that sometimes we do a psychometric testing for some persons and we are surprised to see that these persons may do wonderfully in the test. And yet we have challenges with the care that is offered to the clients that they have. So that is part of the consideration that we will look at going forward, whether or not that can be accommodated at this time.
We're going to take another commercial break, and then when we return, we're going to have another 15 minutes, with you. During that period, we're going to give you an opportunity for some closing comments as well, but we also want to give you an opportunity to repeat, what has been said, because you're making a clarion call, and I'm going to hammer this home because I know our people and what they do. They will complain and say, I never got an opportunity. Here is the opportunity for you. Maybe the opportunity of a lifetime for you to do something that you always wanted to do, want to make an impact, want to help those persons who are less fortunate than we are. But you have to apply. You can go and you can attend these information sessions. The information session taking place Wednesday, from 3 p.m. until 5 p.m. and on Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. as well. And when we return, Ms. Nellie, we could talk a little bit. We know Poinciana is located in the Eastern District, in the district of East End. And for those persons who may question and say, well, okay, yeah, the information sessions are taking place in Georgetown, but what about trying to attract those persons who live in those districts, and whether or not an information session should be held there rather than anywhere else, and whether or not that is being taken into consideration, depending on the the uptake that you're receiving as far as the applications are concerned. We could talk a little bit about that as well. You know, we're going to be as transparent as we possibly can be on here because, again, the intention at the end of the day is to attract Caymanians to these jobs as well. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Shop the Brand Source Home Gallery Senior Citizen Sale.
In honor of our seniors, Brand Source Home Gallery is offering a 15% discount now until April 6 on appliances, mattresses, plumbing and bath fixtures, lighting, ceiling fans, kitchen cabinets, custom closets, and more. And I heard right, 15% off store-wide.
If you are over the age of 60, you can purchase for your family and friends. Just show your ID. It's that easy to save 15% with the Brand Source Home Gallery Senior Citizen Sale. Visit Brand Source on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, or call 623-5000 for details.
It's Digicel's 20th birthday bash, and you're invited. We are giving away 20 phones for 20 years. Win an iPhone or a Samsung smartphone as part of our anniversary celebration. Simply spend $20 or more at Digicel or be an active postpaid customer, and you could be our lucky winner. It's our way of saying thank you for 20 incredible years of connection and support from our amazing customers like you. Don't miss out on this epic celebration. Go to your nearest Digicel store today and join the party. Digicel, better connected.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. So, folks, this discussion this morning, the Poinciana Rehabilitation Center, they are hosting a psychiatric nursing assistant training program. They have scheduled information sessions. The ones taking place this week will be on Wednesday from 3 p.m. until 5 p.m. and Friday from 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. They're looking for applicants, Caymanian applicants in particular. Also will consider those persons who are permanently resident in the Cayman Islands. The main emphasis is on the employment of Caymanians. There's a 29-week training program. Part of it will be on-the-job training as well, but I'll let Ms. Mullings talk to you about that. Before we went to the break, we were talking about the location of the Poinciana Rehabilitation Center is in East End. Those persons who live in East End, those persons who live in Northside and even the Borden town area, as well, may have an interest. So if they're unable to attend these sessions, and we know that many times when you call, you make this appeal for people to come out to these sessions, they drag their feet. They don't come out. Oh, I didn't hear anything about it. I didn't know anything about it as well. Ladies, the mic is yours.
Yes, sir. So in terms of reaching out further afield from Georgetown, where we are currently, we're looking to just see how, with keen interest, how these sessions go. For this week as well, and we know many persons from the Eastern Districts work in town already, so we're hoping that we'll capture those audiences here. However, even in terms of the sister islands, Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, we will have to do another virtual session initially just to gauge some interest from that perspective. And then if necessary, we can look to put on additional, in-person sessions if the demand is there. But we're really looking for our Caymanian public to really come forth if they're interested in this, and that will help to drive then any future sessions. And as Ms. Marcia mentioned, we're looking at the age of 18 to 55 currently. So we want to encourage our young persons, if you're not able to make it in person, then when we do have that next step virtual session, please join in and give us your feedback and your interest in the program, and do apply, and we'll be able to go through more details with you once we know
okay,
who's
Marcia?
interested.
Right. And just re-emphasizing again, it's 29 months fully paid. This is a great opportunity, and your pay will include all the benefits that are given to government employees, pension, and as well as medical benefits for the 29 months. After that, I must mention that the opportunities for employment will be there. Now, after the 29 months, we will advertise the position at the level that it is supposed to be, and it will only be open for Caymanians. So we're not going to train these persons and then open it for everybody. We are going to specify that it's for Caymanians, so they now can apply again, because that's another step up, and then they will go through the recruitment process as well. And I must mention this: it is going to be certified by the Ministry of Health, and what we're also trying to do is put an additional spin on the training to allow for certification in allied health, which is a acceptable certification in Commonwealth countries, as well as a spin on our customer service and first aid. So that is the comprehensive program that these persons will be a part of, and we're there, we will be holding their hands through the training.
Well, you touch on something there that I was going to ask about. The potential benefits in terms of advancement in a career. Knowing quite well that if an 18-year-old, once they get out of school, or even college graduates, they take a degree, but they're really not sure what it is that they want to do. What potential is there for further advancement in the field? And you just mentioned some of it as well. If you could repeat that,
Right.
I think that would be useful.
Right. So after the program, again, it's open for permanent appointment as a psychiatric nursing assistant. Now, I must add that even while employed to the government and they feel they want to advance being in the job, there are those opportunities that the government provides through the Civil Service College and the university as well to do other training in psychology, social work, so they can be, we are not going to limit them to just doing this job. So they can apply for their these programs, and the support will be provided by the managers for them to participate. So it is a good move. It gives some baseline information and can help them to go in that direction if they're so inclined.
Just to add on that, onto that also, Mr. Connor, so as most persons will be aware, the ministry did hire a chief nursing officer, Miss Felicia McLean, who will be starting with us next week.
Yes.
So that will open up very, very new areas of training and development and workforce planning and opportunities in nursing. Also opportunities for us to work with UCCI School of Nursing, and how do we further develop that? How do we get our young people more interested in such health care careers? And how do we provide more opportunities to bridge the gap so that we are allowing our local persons to have those opportunities at home with other exposure overseas, so that they're feeling fulfilled in their careers. But we want to ensure that we're providing much more opportunities here at home. So very excited about having our Chief Nursing Officer on board next week, and about the programs that will follow from that and the development. So want persons to continue to engage with us so that we can help you as well and to help us.
Now, this deficit in male applicants, any strategy that you looking to employ to attract more males to the program?
No particular strategy yet. It's just funny you ask. We were looking at another role. Now we had quite a number of males participating in the screening. And during that time, I said to them, hey, young men, we're having this opportunity. We want to see more males. So use those little opportunities to encourage them to come out. And then, of course, we're hoping that through your program, we can attract more males to come in and join. I'm not sure if I was saying to somebody the other day, does nursing seem more feminine? Some people look at it that way. But I'm saying to them, no, it's for all, both genders, all persons, all genders. Let me stand corrected.
Yes.
Yes, to be a part of the program.
Yes.
Okay. We want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments and to really make that clarion call again for persons to attend these information sessions, starting with you, Ms. Marcia.
Okay. Again, this is a great opportunity for Caymanians to be a part of this history. Poinciana Rehabilitation Center is a historical aspect of Cayman, and we want persons who want to be a part of this to be with us, to join with us as we start to prepare to, take back your clients from overseas, to deal more with the rehabilitative aspect of the mentally ill on island. And we are actually doing other things to prepare while we are awaiting our opening. And I think later on, between May and June, we will have a grand open day to invite the public. But that we will send more information on when the time is come.
Okay, I'm glad I looked back at my WhatsApp phone one more time here. And this person says, good morning. What is the salary range for the psychiatric nursing assistant post? The question mark, full government benefits, and you covered that already in terms of the benefits, and how many positions are available as well.
Okay. So they've mentioned that we're looking to fill 18 positions at this time. I don't have the full salary range, but just working out based on where we're at, the minimum where we'll start is at least 3,450. That's the starting salary per month for the trainee program. So usually as a trainee, we usually start at that first point, right? So that's the basic salary that they'll get monthly, full benefits again. In the initial theoretical aspect, we also will provide refreshments for persons who participate in the training. So yes, it's fully supported by the minister, the CEO, in terms of facilitating persons to come, making it easier for them to participate in the program.
Okay, Ms. Nellie?
We just wanted to thank you again, Mr. Connor, for the opportunity, and to the listening and viewing public for engaging with us and being attentive to what's happening with Poinciana. So we very much look forward to the progress as we have the facility handed over and subsequently opening to keep the public engaged in all of those exciting times for us in Cayman. The ministry will continue to do everything that it needs to do to ensure that the facility is opened as soon as possible and that we are properly staffed to be able to man the facility. So I just want to encourage everyone again to remain engaged and to also respond to our call for this training assistance program. This morning it will really help to enable young Caymanians to get into the field of mental health more and to be able to be properly trained to take up some of the other opportunities that the facility will provide. So just for Ms. Marcia to reiterate again, just when our sessions are this week and how you can apply and become engaged. We thank you. You'll hear more from the Ministry of Health as we go forward.
Certainly, and look forward to promoting this more and more as well.
Okay. So Wednesday, 3 to 5 p.m., this Wednesday, and this Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Constitution Hall. We will also look at how we can facilitate others after this session, as CEO mentioned.
Certainly.
Yes. Thanks for the opportunity to share.
You're most welcome, and all the best in your recruitment process as well. Folks, top of the hour headline news. When we return, the phone lines will be open as well for you to converse. We know some of you will call in and talk about the same thing that we're talking about now, even though we welcomed you to call in then, but we know that you're listening. So if you're not interested, but you know someone who may be interested in this training program and taking up a role at the Poinciana Rehabilitation Center, please pass the word on. Top of the hour, headline news for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Since 1976.
Covering Grand Cayman, no Cayman, and right.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
In-person classes have been suspended at Clifton Hunter High School. The Ministry of Education and the Department of Education Services has advised that there was a, quote, major underground leak in the pipes carrying chilled water to the air conditioning system at the school. As the facilities team works to fix the issue, buses returned to the school this morning to transport students home, and parents were asked to collect their students this morning. The school will put measures in place for the delivery of remote instruction, quote, where applicable. Vladimir Putin wins a fifth term as Russian president by a landslide of 87%, according to Russian exit polls. He faced no credible opposition candidate as the Kremlin tightly controls Russia's political system, media, and elections. Germany called it a, quote, pseudo-election, while the U.S. said the vote was, quote, obviously not free or fair. Ukraine's President Zelensky said Putin was, quote, drunk with power and is doing everything to rule forever. In a post-election news conference, Putin vowed to press on with the invasion of Ukraine. He also said Russian democracy was more legitimate than in the U.S., where, quote, with mail-in voting, you can buy a vote for $10. Voting took place in the Russian-occupied parts of Ukraine, Zaporizhia, Kherson, Donetsk, Luhansk, and Crimea. Overall turnout was 77%. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
When you have a sports or fitness-related injury, trust the expertise of the HSA's Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic to get you back in the game. Our internationally trained and certified physicians specialize in sports traumatology, sports medicine, pain management, and orthopedic surgery. For treatment of common injuries such as tendonitis, arthritis, tennis elbow, rotator cuff, or knee tears, schedule a consultation with the Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic at Smith Road Medical Center by calling 949-8600 or visit hsa.ky for more information.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I want to again say thank you to Ms. Mullings and Ms. Pouchie coming on to promote these information sessions. And I really hope and trust that our Caymanian people take advantage of this. 18 positions are open, $3,000 plus per month while you're training, 29 months, and then after that, then the positions, will be made permanent, as well, and then those again positions will be vacant, available to Caymanians only. Now we know that many people come to the Cayman Islands and they accept entry-level jobs, lower paying jobs, because it is better than what they have in the countries that they're coming from. Some have no jobs at all. And you find out later that they have qualifications in areas other than what they have been employed in. If we as Caymanians do not take advantage of these opportunities, then it leaves no other option but to hire those persons who apply and have the qualifications. So we have to ensure that we take advantage of that. We have a call, but before we go to the caller, we still have a few birthday shout-outs. This person wants to send birthday greetings to Roger Ebanks of West Bay, who celebrated his birthday on the 18th of March. Of course, that would be today. He's celebrating his birthday. These greetings are coming from his wife, his two sons, parents, Dallas and Leonie Ebanks, your sisters and brothers and the rest of the family, and they're hoping that you live to see many more. So Mr. Roger Ebanks, happy birthday to you, coming from your entire family. And of course, belated birthday greetings going out to Miss Anita Khan as well. I did mention that on Friday, but there was a little bit of confusion as to when her birthday, was. So her birthday was yesterday, and we hope that she enjoyed it immensely as well. Our own Miss Anita Khan, belated happy birthday to you. And I've also been asked to send out birthday greetings to Miss Elrita Seymour, and birthday greetings coming from her close friends, Mary and Bunny Miles, and also from Miss Gwyneth Forbes. Happy birthday greetings, Miss Elrita. And these special greetings are coming specifically from Mary and Bunny Miles and Miss Gwyneth Forbes as well. And I'm sure that all of your loyal customers, Miss Elrita, will be wishing you a happy birthday as well. It's usually the other way around, though. When it's time for birthdays and stuff, you will be the one who's doing the cakes and everything else, Christmas time and otherwise. But it is time for us to return the favor and maybe cook for you. Probably can't cook as good as you, but maybe some of your friends can think about that as well. We do have a caller, so let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Thankful. I'll say I'm thankful. I want to hit on the taxes this morning.
Mm-hmm.
We have a holding ground up there across from Hyde and Sons. Okay, it's a very small compound. Cannot hold all of the taxes that go there or would like to come out there. Okay, so we have a lot of taxis that work from the street on the Royal Pier and the North Terminal and the South when it's open.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say, between PTU and tourism, they're not really doing any justice for the taxi drivers on this island. Because, if you know that you got X amount of taxes that will be, regardless of where they may be running. They run between all of the locations when they are ready if the business is there to get. You understand? And if you know that you're going to have people coming at the Royal Pier and the North Terminal and the South Terminal, why do you have securities and why do you have chains across that they cannot come into a certain point of those compounds on the waterfront? They are practically standing in the road to try to make an honest dollar that we still pay PTU every year for. We are like licensed beggars, taxi drivers out here on the streets. And I am not just talking for me. I am talking for every one of those taxi drivers who's out there trying to make an honest dollar. And some of them don't have a second income. And when they got to go there and fight against the chain link fencing, the chain across the entrance, and the securities talking to you like you're not a human being, there is no respect. For taxi to give you respect, you have to give them respect too. You cannot come out here and because you wear a suit showing you security and you got a chain a wrap across the entrance that they can't come no further than where you want them to come, and they're practically will be in the road on the what y'all got a road called now? Well, it's south not South Church Street. I think we all got a new name for it now, but you know what I'm talking about.
Seafarers Way?
Yes. Or see, it hurts to the core to see how our taxi service is becoming so unprofessional because of the way we are being treated. Or see, there was 2 cruise ships in town Saturday when I drove through there taking my cousin shopping. Or see, if we saw 25 visitors walking the street, we didn't see 10. So where was those people for those 2 boats that was in the harbor there on Saturday? I don't know. But I'm just giving as an example to show you that we do have boats in sometimes, and there's no money making from the cruise ships.
So, caller, I'd like you to paint a picture for our listening audience. So you have the compound that is located near to Heights, right? And then do you have taxis that just basically are cruising the streets, and they may then come to the waterfront, or is it only are those taxis, those vehicles that are at that compound when they're called to the waterfront that they go there, or can any taxi go to the waterfront and pick up tourists?
When you're doing the holding ground, you have to have an ID to go into the North Terminal and the Royal Pier. But you have a lot of taxis who do not have an ID, and some have tried ID. And they say, oh, see, it doesn't work because sometimes you don't even get called down. And if you know, these taxi guys know the boats that are the bigger boats. They will come out there and give them business, you understand, except for those that is already pre-booked. You understand? So you got so much left after. So those that I have been to the compound and I've been called down to the port, and as small as I am, I didn't get a trip. But I always tell myself, the week or 7 days in it. Today is not your day. And I tell myself, at least I have a little job, a regular job. Some of these taxi drivers do not have a second job. You understand? So sometimes it doesn't even make sense for some of these taxi drivers to go up to the compound, to go and get an ID and go up to the compound and try to get called down to the Royal Pier or the North Terminal or the South Terminal, because I think the South Terminal and the North Terminal, they're using the same holding ground out front, on the water side. And the Royal Pier, when the ships are at Royal Pier, you go into Royal Pier, and sometimes even dispatch from North Terminal down to Royal Pier. But some of the cruise ships, these taxi drivers know which one you can make $1 from, and some of them know you're not going to make anything from them. And 99.9, let's say not 99, let's say 90% of the cruise ships are pre-booked. And whatever's left, then they come off and you try to deal with them to take them on a tour or whatever the case may be. But what I'm trying to say is, if you know that your holding ground cannot hold all these taxi drivers, why are they giving some of the license? And if you know that these guys are up there on the waterfront hustling, call it hustling, a licensed hustler to make an honest dollar, Why are they being treated like they're animals when they come out and make $1 from the security and the Port Authority workers? They are licensed, Mr. O.C., 400 and change for a license every year. Some, depending on the size of the bus, the more seats they got, the higher the ticket is at PTU. PTU don't do nothing for us. Tourism don't do nothing for us. We had a huge meeting, had 76 people at the Glass House a few months ago with Mr. Ebanks from Northside when he took over from Mr. Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in there with other people, and they promised us hell and all. And only one thing that we got out of them so far, that we was going to remove the banner from our taxes, which I never did put it on because I fight it to the last draw. And you use your taxi sign on your dashboard and probably a little taxi sign on your side door, show that you're a taxi driver. Your license plate tells you that you're a taxi driver. But once you work and you put your taxi sign, which is a lit up sign, or it's big and black and yellow, you can't miss it on the dashboard of your car or on your rooftop. And you can see that you're coming or you're working, whatever the case may be. And if I have anyone in my car, I know that I'm not counting no one else. I take my sign down. You understand? Because I'm not available.
Mm.
I already got people in my car. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So what I pick up from the port, I deal with them. I do not stop and pick up on the road. But you got people who does that, and they're not being treated fairly. And I don't know what PTU is trying to do by thinning this taxi business out. I don't know what Kennedy gave us a big disappointment, and they took him and moved him. Now they gave it to Mr. J. Jay came in, and they was making a lot of good promises to us at the Glass House. And they was going to work on the urine test that we got to go to the hospital and pay 100 and change for every year, and we was going to be able to do this and do that, and nobody's calling us back, and nothing is going down. Everybody's here fighting like a dog, and they are licensed. They are licensed, and they've even got a business trade license as well, too, on top of the tax license, Mr. O.C. Can you imagine? And when you're going to go on that waterfront, and you're going to be treated the way you're being treated, it is not fair.
Mm.
And one of these days, you're not going to look good on that waterfront with those taxi guys because they're getting fed up the way they're being treated. See where I'm coming from?
Yep.
And Mr. O.C., give me 2 minutes more. We taxi drivers, tour or non-tour, just going to the beach. We sell our island to these visitors when they come here. And to know that we are selling every hotel in the 7 Mile, whatever question they ask for, we give them information on it, every restaurant that we could think of, and tell them about this island. We don't have nothing up there to come and say, you know what? We got to give these taxi drivers some incentive. I am not looking at anything. Don't get me wrong, O.C. I never care to give me $1 or a free meal.
Mm-hmm.
I am just talking in general that we should be looked upon, not under. You understand? If you can go there and drive for 2 and 3 hours on a tour and advertise every Carlton and every other hotel and every restaurant and every condo and every timeshare, you want to tell me that tourism can't get with these people and say, you know what? Our taxi drivers need some incentive for the way that they advertise all of your business while they are doing a tour, or even just going to the beach. You give those guys information. You know, a lady told me one time, she said from this Royal Pier to the Turtle Farm, $8. It's a shame. It should be more. This is a long drive for $8 US. And even to the prices need to be raised. The buses need to be raised out there, the public buses. Everything is going up. But yet the taxi business is staying stagnant. And the people out there fighting. They're complaining. They have no one to go to. Apparently, some months ago, we had a few other taxi drivers that I talked to Mr. Ebanks. They see I didn't accomplish anything. We get a bunch of promises. And if you don't bring our license up to date, then we can't do no taxiing. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yep. Caller?
Something got to be done on the waterfront with the taxi drivers.
Hearing you loud and clear. Caller, thank you. Thank you very much for that, folks.
Thank you.
We have another caller on hold, but we have to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
It's Digicel's 20th birthday bash, and you're invited. We are giving away 20 phones for 20 years. Win an iPhone or a Samsung smartphone as part of our anniversary celebration. Simply spend $20 or more at Digicel or be an active postpaid customer, and you could be our lucky winner. It's our way of saying thank you for 20 incredible years of connection and support from our amazing customers like you. Don't miss out on this epic celebration. Go to your nearest Digicel store today and join the party. Digicel, better connected.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Has the circus come to town? No, it's A.L. Thompson's 2-week blowout sale from March 15 through March 30. Get under the huge tent outside A.L. Thompson's to save big. Save up to 75% on lighting, electrical, plumbing, paint, and hardware. Save up to 75% on housewares, building materials, and the ever-popular scratch and dent appliances. Take advantage of this savings while they last. It's March blowout under the tent at A.L. Thompson's, Georgetown.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome. Good morning, caller. Are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry, I had my phone on mute while you had me on a commercial.
No problem, no problem.
This is Carrie from Nebraska, and I just want to say that I've been listening to the show on and off, and I've always hearing Miss Jan come on and constantly talk about the issues that they have. And I mean, she has been on the talk shows for years complaining, and she has a right to complain because she's in that industry, and she's a native Caymanian, and she has to thrive and strive in her country, not survive. She needs to thrive as well as the rest of us. And, you know,
that caller dropped, Miss Susan. Yeah, I'm hearing a beeping in the background from her. Hopefully the caller will call us back. Meanwhile, what can we share with you? Yes. So, I think was it last week and the week before we had our the school sports. I don't know if they were inter-school sports or those within the schools or those that within a school as opposed to the schools competing against each other. But we do know that in 1966, in the 60s, that school sports was a huge deal, was a big, big deal in Cayman. Sometimes it was held in West Bay. Sometimes it was held in Georgetown and the famous Partner Ground at first, and then where the Georgetown Primary School is located now as well. In 1966, it would have been where Georgetown Primary School is located. And we see some photographs in the Trade Winds newspaper. Ned Solomon Goring House as he touches the finish line to win the boys 440 race for over 15s. Those days, everything, we did, it was done in inches, feet, and yard, not meters. Now you have the 400 meter. Those days it was called the 440 yard race. Then there was one of her good old friend who's living in the United States now. We do hear from him. I think several people in Cayman are in touch with him. Mr. Alvin Jump. He was one of the high jumpers as well. He cleared 5 feet 2 inches to win the boys over 15 high jump. And he participated. He represented Smith's house. So you had Goring, Smith, and Webster. Those were the houses. At that time, if we were in the days that we are today, would probably be Macfield, Ebanks, and Borden or something like that, the houses, as opposed to the Goring, Smith, and Webster. Of course, we know the Goring would have been, for Mr. Goring, one of the smartest men in the Cayman Islands. He was part of the vestry as well. And, we know the Webster part of it. I'm not sure where the Smith part emanated from, but those were the names of the houses then. And then there are also other photographs, and it talks about the houses being Goring, Smith, and Webster. Coaches for the houses were Mr. Hill, Mr. Anderson, Joseph Anderson, who's still here with us, as well as Mr. Ricketts. Results of some of the races in 1966 for the, we call it the boys broad jump, also known as the long jump. Over 15, Michael Ebanks of Smith House, he won. Ned Solomon of Goring. For the girls, 100 yards over 15, Rachel Bird, now Rachel Ebanks, she represented Webster. Miss Rita Levy representing Goring. For the girls, 100 yards under 15, Leonie Smith representing Goring. Now, those of you who go back to our days in school, Leonie Smith, her nickname was Baby G. Baby G. She was, I'm not sure if she was step or the daughter of Miss Merle, who had the store right there on the corner where Patterson's, the farm soldier, was located at, Miss Merle. But Leona Smith, that would be Baby G, and then Golda McField for Smith House. In the boys, 100 yards under 15, we had George Earl Ebanks of West Bay representing Webster, and Mr. Handel Whitaker representing Webster as well. And the boys, 100 yards over 15, again, Ned Solomon and Michael Ebanks. So Ned featured prominently because he, among several others, was a gifted athlete, extremely gifted athlete. If we were growing up now, the days now, and had the opportunities that the youngsters have now, many of our athletes in those days would be Olympic champions. I say that without hesitation. They would be Olympic champions because they were dedicated to their sport and they had the natural ability as well. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. I'll share more of this with you when we return. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Shop the Brand Source Home Gallery Senior Citizen Sale.
In honor of us seniors, Brand Source Home Gallery is offering a 15% discount now until April 6 on appliances, mattresses, plumbing and bath fixtures, lighting, ceiling fans, kitchen cabinets, custom closets, and more. And I heard right, 15% off store-wide.
If you are over the age of 60, you can purchase for your family and friends. Just show your ID. It's that easy to save 15% with the Brand Source Home Gallery Senior Citizen Sale. Visit Brand Source on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, or call 623-5000 for details.
Hey Bobo, have you taken the pledge?
What pledge?
The Safe Drivers Pledge, to show your dedication to fostering a culture of responsible driving. Some of the accidents we have in Cayman could have been avoided simply by drivers being more vigilant behind the wheel.
You're right, Our actions behind the wheel can have serious consequences. Everyone should make a commitment to drive safely. Where can I take the pledge?
Visit gov.ky/road safety/pledge.
Thanks. I'll tell others to take the pledge too.
Let's make our roads safer together and say no more for 2024. Visit www.gov.ky/road safety for more information and to take the pledge.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. I can't resist to the opportunity to comment about that pledge, that public service announcement pledge about road safety as well. And what the pledge that I would like to see as well is our authorities pledging to clamp down on even more on those errant road users, those who abuse the roads, those who put other people's safety at risk. I'd also like to see a pledge to assign more money to put up speed cameras and everything else so that we can hit those errant drivers where it counts, in their pocketbooks, as well. That won't stop me from making the pledge, but if we're going to talk about pledging, let's get the pledge on the other end as well. So, like I said, folks, I couldn't miss that opportunity. So we're looking at the inter-house sports that took place in 1966. And like I said, Ned Solomon, Michael Ebanks featured heavily in the results because they were talented with the natural talent as athletes. Can you imagine, with formal training and everything else, what could have happened? We used to, beside the training that we would get from Mr. Hill and Mr. Ricketts, And I think Berger used to do some training as well, but Berger was usually more involved in cricket and stuff like that. I remember the late George Wilkes when they would train him. George Wilkes, they would let him. He was a long distance runner, and he would do the 1 mile. But he would run with the 400, 440 guys, and with the 880 guys, he would run with them and then continue on to the mile. So they would use the shorter distances to pace George Wilkes, and he was also another talented athlete as well. But like I said before, if we had the type of training, we would have produced world-class Olympic athletes as well. What we used to do before sports day, go out to Hawkesbury Bay and swim. Some people would say, oh boy, if you, eat some green banana or something like that would help you. Those are the diets that we were on. You go based on, what you hear. Just like, you hear Usain Bolt and the yam in Trelawney, whether or not it's true or it actually works or not. We had our homemade remedies and recipes for performing in sports as well. Again, we see the hurdles where Alvin Jump was from Smith. We also see, I'm not sure, G. Watson, trying to remember who that G would stand for, and S. Rankin of Smith and Gorey, not sure who these were. And then we see Baby G here again for the girls' hurdles. Rita Levy again. Rachel. And then, of course, the housemaster was Mr. Hill. George Hill was his name. George was his first name as well. And just trying to find something else here. So at the end of the day, after the results were all compiled, the Gorin House had 64 points, Smith's had 60.5 points, and Webster had 52.5 points as well. But those days, sports was a big thing, huge thing. Partner ground, they would have the huts built using coconut limbs or thatch to cover, and that's where, if you came from the various districts or whatever house you were in, you housed yourself under those huts to shelter yourself from the hot sun as well. I'm told that we have several callers, so let's go to the phone lines. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Go right ahead.
Oh, see?
Uh-huh.
All right, you can hear me.
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Oh my Lord, you hit the
We're getting echo. You may want to come off the speakerphone, please.
Good.
Try it now. Caller, are you there? Okay. Our toll-free number, 1-800. You may try that if it's working. Not 1-800-834. Grab the next caller instead. Okay. Next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I was listening to you and you're talking about the pledge. Coming down from the east, I would say between the spot and all the way down to the Linford Pearson Highway. We should have 3 sets of police officers stretched out. But we don't. You can only catch one. You radio your man and you tell them, hey, we got some more coming on flying.
Mm-hmm.
They could get more people than they're getting right now. They got to have a three stakeouts in the morning and in the evening time. I see where to put up those things on that bulletin board up here on the bypass. I'm not sure what else is going up there, if it's working or what. I never called about that. Or see, we talk about jobs to Caymanians. I was telling Sterling on Thursday or Friday, to get the Caymanians into the working force, I feel, and I'm going to use this word, I feel that the government can do more in getting our people into the working force. And when it comes to the permits, and when it comes to these people coming here, investing here, and bringing their own people, and so forth, so forth. All people need to get back in the working force because OC is from the look of things. They will never be able to own a piece of property or a home of their own because we have no one. And when I say no one, you can phrase that in another time if you like to stand up for them. Or see if these people are in desperate need of somewhere to live. They are not even voters. They will be voters at some point in time if they are still alive. You understand? We got to protect the few Caymanians that is left. They need to have an incentive. And wherever they may find a job, the government has a lot of buildings that they can give an office to someone sitting there.
Mm-hmm. So, caller, I'm going to interrupt you there. Did you listen to the show earlier this morning when I had Miss Mullings as well as Miss Pouchie on there talking about opportunities that are for the Psychiatric Rehabilitation Center? Were you listening to that? Hey, that was an excellent example. They're looking for 18 persons, 29 weeks of training, and you're getting paid while you're being trained for the job, over $3,300 per month. Were you listening to that?
I got partial of it. And I understood what they were saying. That is all good and great. But sometimes when you have these programs and we put our people in it, some of them don't have no interest in it. And they tend to either leave or the people write them up and say, well, this person is not interested. We need another person to fill this person's place. We got to give our people time. Mm-hmm. We got to give them time to catch on and make them want to show interest because our children right now is our young people is in a stage right now. We'll see like they're lost, like they don't have any hope. And when a little bit of hope comes, and they go get involved in it, they cannot burst and say, "Oh man, I'm going to do all right." They can't do all right at the first go. Don't they go to learn? They're learning all over again. Like a preschool child.
Like I said, that program there is an excellent opportunity.
It is. I agree with you from what I heard. But they got to watch too and see how much off Caymanians will be in that program. No disrespect to anyone. Mm-hmm. But we just need to work more on our Cayman people. But I'll leave that at that.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you. Susan, we'll take the last commercial break. How many callers we have? We have another caller. I think that caller that we were getting the echo from is back online. Caller, hang in there. Quick commercial break. When we return, we will converse with you, so please stay tuned.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
Government school registration for the 2024-2025 academic year opens online on March 1st. Enrollment is based on a first-come, first-served basis with established priority categories. So please, register your child early to maximize your chances of getting them into a school within your catchment area. To learn more or register your child, please visit schools.edu.ky by June 30th. This message is brought to you by the Department of Education Services.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have about 14 minutes left in the show. 2 callers on hold. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, I got you now. My fault, just for having
That's okay. On. That's okay. And I recognize the voice.
Baby G was a star.
Wasn't she?
She was a star. She was. We had Webster, Smith, and Goring House. She was a star. And you know who should run the 400 too? Is the late George McPhee. He was a long runner too. Yeah.
And Delano is still with us. Delano Solomon, distance runner.
Yes. I was good for the 220 and the 100. You couldn't catch me on that.
And
you remember the 220 and the 100?
You didn't do the high jump also?
I used to do high jump too. Fly around like a little pin. And we used to get, like we say, the banana and put little salt on it for long wind.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go out south and walk out and get the conchs and take out the little white piece of conchs and that too for long wind. and then when we got sports coming up, we used to go up with the sandbars away in front of the normal bakery. We used to knock on everybody door like 6 o'clock in the morning, go and get swim.
Mm-hmm.
Swim from when you could swim from that come in, and our mother then would not make us bathe the salt water because they say it make you strong.
Yep.
They make your bones strong. So we keep the salt water until next day. They go and run. Oh, see, this will be a good day. And we even had a team from Savannah them days. Savannah had their own little school. They didn't have much people coming, but we used to have Savannah used to participate in the sports too.
Yes.
The evening, them, I remember used to come now. Yep. And then we used to have, so we had the little huts, and everybody, all the parents would cook the food. All we had to carry was our little cups, our little plate.
Mm-hmm.
And line up, and they would cook the food. Everybody would go around from hut to hut and greet each other. Them days was lovely days.
They were.
You know? And the girls then would sing Georgetown Sports Club. No, we was the annex. We were the annex. We need the annex. We used to say Georgetown Sports Club. Who can lick them? Can you guess? Georgetown Sports Club. Yes. S-U-C-C-E-F-F. Who can lick them? Can you guess? Georgetown Sports Club. Yes. You just lie my day, man. I love when I heard that.
I'm gonna call your name. I normally don't do it, but folks, that's Mr. Rennie Barnes, and you heard me give a big shout out to him last week. I had to big you up for what you do, with Mr. Niels Godfrey on his birthday. And Niels, he enjoyed that tremendously.
Tom can't get over that. That was a lovely day we had,
Yes.
And I look at him and say, you remember, you go in the best show for around here. And they say, yeah, I know that. He paying you nothing. You need to make it the money. You got to go this way, go down, we got to sell these, no problem. That was a good time.
How did you...
Good old day school. And the children do real. I was telling somebody this week, I say, when we had to mark our that same field to play sports and football, we used to have to get a little pickaxe. make the line, and then we go on the beach and get
the sand
and put in it.
Yeah.
And then we get little with a little brush and peel it. That's how we used to mark our football field in our line for running sports.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and you agree with me that if guys like you, Ned, Rita Levy, Golda McPhail, Rachel, and all of them, if we were in these times here, Cayman would have Olympic champions.
If we had the training that they had, do you know that even if they wanted to send Puta, you remember Puta Williams?
Yes, yeah.
Puta and my brother Raymond, they wanted to send them to Jamaica. They were so good. And we had that guy from North Side, Goodman
Power, yes.
And then we had Mary Lou from Bordentown.
And Skipper, Roy Miles, Skipper. Oh, yeah, we had
we had some good athletes, but like I tell you, and we had to train ourselves.
Exactly.
We were training ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides Siren teacher Mark, you find time to come out and spend time with us. But that was it was good old days.
Yeah.
And then and like I said, them days all the parents were out there, but it was cooking and all the little hut, like what you said, you had the little hut. So so if it wasn't part of the ground, but we moved from part of the ground to this place like what you said.
Yes,
you were right on target, man. I agree you all the way.
Thank you. Okay,
yeah.
Mr. Rennie, thank you very much, and God bless you for all that you do. Your sessions that you have, every month as well. I have to get back there and get to those as well. But thanks for all that you do in terms of keeping Cayman's history alive as well. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Have a great day.
Thank you too.
Okay, we're going to grab our last caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Good morning to your listeners.
Morning. Good morning, Minister. How are you?
Not too bad. I was just there listening to you go back in the day. You sounded like a kid in school the way you and Mr. Rennie was enjoying that story there. I was just actually calling because obviously I listen to you religiously.
Thank you.
And it's always important to hear the people. So I heard Ms. Jan call in as well, and from a tourism component is obviously a priority for me. And I understand there's a lot of complexities about there on the port and the taxi drivers, tour operators, and it's not always the best in the world, particularly with the reduced numbers of cruise ship passengers and this whole pre-booking and freelance taxi drivers kind of element. And I want Ms. Jan to give me a call if she's still listening. And I know, OC, you probably have her number too. You can send it to me via WhatsApp. But obviously, I want to ensure that the members out there know that I am concerned about their livelihood, and I want to do everything I possibly can to help. Also, to remind them that I will be on the show again. We haven't fixed that date yet, but it's either going to be this week or next week, and we will definitely let everybody know. So those persons in the tourism industry have questions. I'm never afraid to face any concerns or questions from the public, and they can give a call on the radio so I can answer them. And I'm possibly thinking about meeting again with the taxi and tour operators because it is, unfortunately, it's a matter of free market enterprise that causes a lot of the problems. So, for example, the pre-booked tours are also Caymanians. So it's Caymanians competing against Caymanians, and who gets the best relationship with cruise lines. And the only way to resolve this, really, in my humble opinion, is if you dictate to the market what can happen and can't happen, and that doesn't work well in a free market enterprise. Or the taxi and tour operators and those people who do fishing exercises or staying in the city, is they unionize together and come to an agreed pricing scheme so they can undercut each other. And this is one of the biggest problems that we've been having, where there's not enough unity. And I'm trying to see where is the middle ground to get that resolved. And it is probably the hardest thing to get resolved out of all the things I've been having to face as Minister of Tourism. But what's important is always know that I'm listening, and particularly with the reduced numbers of cruise passengers, that will continue to become even more and more of a problem. Because when things are great and there's loads and loads of cruise passengers, then there's always enough spillover and there's no qualms, so to speak. But in light of the lack of pairs and the reduced projections of cruise passengers, this problem is going to continue to magnify itself. So I want them to know that I'm listening, and my ministry and myself will be doing a lot more feedback and trying to understand what's the best way to solve the problem in a free market situation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I wanted to say, and we'll see. I guess we can announce whenever I'm going to be back on, so they can know they can always ask questions in the public domain about the industry upon which I represent.
Yeah, I'm looking. I may have an hour to squeeze in on Wednesday. I've been trying to work something out with the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service to talk about the holiday and the driving during the holiday season. That's going to be extremely important. If I'm able to host them at 8:15 until 9 o'clock, then I could probably have you on from 9 to 10 on Wednesday. It's short, but if we want to utilize as much as we possibly can, and then of course we can look to the following week as well and see what's available there. Up to you, but let me know.
I'm totally happy to do that.
Yeah.
I'm totally happy to do that, because it's important that they get the information or opportunity to speak to me whenever we have it available.
Certainly.
So I can commit to 9 o'clock on Wednesday. For those who are listening, it'll be short, but we can always have another show afterwards. And I'll make sure I bring my team with me in case it's something that I may not have the information right away. My team can help me with that. So one last thing before I wrap up.
Sure. You're the last caller. You're the last caller, so we have about 3 minutes left. You can go.
Okay, perfect. I think I understand that today is Miss Elrita's birthday.
Yes.
And so I want to wish her a wonderful day, and may the Lord bless her and keep her. And I wish her many, many more to come. I'll definitely make time to go down there and see her today. But publicly, I just wanted to say happy birthday to Miss Elrita. And anybody who knows her, give her a call, make her feel special. You know, she's been such an icon in our community, particularly in Georgetown. Send her all the love. She should appreciate it very, very much.
Definitely. I second that motion.
And one last thing, O.C., didn't mean to cut you off there, but in the interest of time. So you know the last time I was on the show, I spoke about the Marlon Dukran report.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's why it's always good to talk publicly and don't be behind closed doors with anything. Because since that interview, Ms. Marla has reached out to us via email to have a discussion. And that was over the weekend, so I responded to say I'm happy to do so, to understand her positioning as to why what is perceived to be an attack on tourism, and that's what most people have seen it as, and to see where and why the conclusions were the way they were.
Mm-hmm.
So there may be more to even talk about in the coming days after I've had direct conversations with her, with my ministry team. So I'll leave it there and say thank you so much, as always, to allow me to be on, and for you to constantly give the public such good information and history at the same time.
Now, Minister, I won't want to pretend to be your advisor in any way, but I hope you hold her feet to the fire in terms of the comment that was made to voters of the Cayman Islands in the next election as well.
Well, I would like to say that I'm Donna Bryan's son, and if anybody knows my mom in any capacity, well, I'll definitely be diplomatic about it and be a professional as people expect me to be. But I'm not going to take things lightly. So I'm quite sure she may be even monitoring this because she's heard the last show. But there is answers that need to be made, because when you make such a claim on tourism, particularly when you hear people calling in today talking about the lack of availability, but yet still we have people internationally suggesting that it's not valuable. I'm actually having Caymanians call in the show that they need to survive, they need work, they need opportunity. But then you have an international economist saying that it's not valuable to our people. And this is the oxymoron of it all. So I'm fighting on that front from international people trying to undermine us, but at the same time trying to fight to make sure my people have opportunities within this industry. But a lot to talk about. I know your show is about to wrap up. I thank you again. I look forward to seeing everybody and yourself on Wednesday.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Minister, as well. And to remind our listening and viewing audience, this Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m. and on Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. The Poinciana Rehabilitation Center will be housing a psychiatric nursing assistance training program information session. They are looking to hire 18 Caymanians between the ages of 18 and 55. 29 weeks of training that you will be paid for if you are accepted into the program. And you can attend that session, or I'm trying to see if I have the email address here as well, where you can go on to the portal to find the information as well. But please, if you're Caymanian, attend those information sessions to see whether or not you may have an interest. Folks, again, want to thank all of those of you who participated. I want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are. I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.